everyone, welcome to the Budgeting Sisters. I'm Melissa, and today we are going to lay out our quarterly budget. Now, I have these separated into different categories. I wasn't particular about this. It is just how my brain was functioning. Let's just go with that. Now, up here you will see my income. For the month of January, I budgeted the exact same amount for each week. Now, we did just get a raise, and I can't recall what my balance is that I will be bringing home after that. But what I did was I took an amount that I make, took out my tithe, and this should be about what I bring home after that. It is not less than this. So, for January, it is a 4-week pay month. So we will have a total of $2,320. February is 5 weeks. Magic month. Yay. So we have 5 weeks at $580, which is $2,900. March, again, is 4 weeks with a total, again, of $2,320. Now, we are still keeping an eye on this medical category. This includes medicine, herbs, supplements, vitamins, all of that. And I did separate out a new category for doctors. I was realizing with watching things and tracking things between November and December that I had planned on doctors' copays coming out of this medical category. But this wasn't even close to being enough. So what I have done is separated it out. But let's back up, go up to the top and start here. Most of these ones are things that we will be cash stuffing for on a weekly basis. Now, gas, I dropped this down. It should be $120, just like over here in March. But I needed $5 for something else, so I took it from here. But that should be fine. I mean, that amount is more than enough for the month. Groceries. Now, throughout January, we are doing a pantry challenge in our no spend time frame. So I have cut my grocery budget in half. I have $100 planned for the month of January. Now, Sip and Save is $25 for the month. That gets Ken and I 1 drink a day at our local gas station. This is a lifesaver for us. And they're friends now. We've gotten to know them, and just a lovely group of people. But it keeps a hold of how much soda intake that I'm getting. But for me, it's not really about the soda. This is sad. It's the ice. If you know, you know. So there's that. Eating out. Now, I have $100 allotted for the month, okay? These are all monthly. But in January, we are doing our no spend. I have this here because I need to keep some allotment in case we've had a rough day. Work, hire at the house. Ken and I both deal with chronic illnesses, so I have to have something allotted there. But we are going to try in January to keep this at a minimum, and maybe we'll be able to roll some of this money over. Personal money, because January is no spend, I didn't allot for any. Now, February, we have 5 weeks. So you'll see each of them have increased by that extra amount for that week. And then March is back to the exact same as January, except for I put the personal money back in. Now, this right here is where our savings challenges come into play. Anything that we have left over after doing these things, that's where I can put them into my savings challenges. I do not have the funds at this moment to budget in my savings challenges. But with what I have allotted here, and some probably still in the actual fixed expenses, we should still have that money to do that. So that's where that comes in for us. So don't give up. Even if you don't have the money in your budget, in some categories, they're gonna come in less than what you expect, like your utility bills or things like that. Or maybe, can you go down to spending $99 instead of $100 on groceries? That $1 will add up. There's been some weeks over December, I think there was one week we only saved $3. But you know what? That's $3 that I still have in here that I didn't have in before. So keep remembering, every little bit helps. You will be making progress. Now, here are the totals for these categories throughout the months. Again, remember January is less because we're doing our no spend challenge. February is more because we have 5 weeks. And then March will be what would be a normal month. But look at that difference that hopefully we can tuck away and use for something else. Now, let's get into our fixed monthly expenses. By fixed, I guess I shouldn't say fixed. They're our bills. Rent is $965 is what we have budgeted. Technically, our rent is $875. But at this point, we are a little behind. And so we have to pay a late fee, which is fine. We're the ones behind. But when all is said and done, you'll see a little bit. April, we should be back to not having to pay that late fee. So that'll be good. Power, I have $200 budgeted. January and February are usually our coldest months. Now, when I say cold here in Tennessee, yes, it gets cold. Many times, it's not below freezing. But we still run our heat. And so that is reflected in this amount. Now, our bill is never $200. Our bill at the most is usually $180. So I'm hoping that this category, right straight across the board in all 3 months, will give us a little bit of extra money to start building up those savings challenges. Car insurance is $100. Now, this is not an exact. We're actually looking around to a company that maybe allows us to pay yearly at a discounted rate. So we will see where that goes and plays out. That is one of the things that we're doing in January to track our expenses and see where we can lessen some of them. Internet is $20. And cell phone is $30. Now we are in a plan with Spectrum where with our internet we get one phone free and it's $30 for our second line. So $50 for both internet and cell phone. Yes, please. I like that. Streaming, we have 2 streaming services that we use, And together, they are under $10. I just say 10 for easiness of adding things up. Our dogs, we have $50 budgeted. This covers, they do get one bark box a month, which they love. They love the toys, they love the treats, all of it. But this $50 does include their food as well and keeps us stocked up in that. Now, here's a new one for us. My school payment. I am so close to finishing school and I stopped. And I have made it my goal in 2024 that I will finish my schooling. I have 7 payments of $155 that I need to make on top of my schoolwork. But once those 7 payments are done, my school will be completely covered and paid for. So my goal is to have all my schoolwork done by the time these 7 payments are made. So that should easily be done by the end of 2024. So for school is $155 a month. Now this is a stretch for us because right now this isn't even in our budget and things are already tight. So we've had to do some cutting, which is okay. It's going to keep us close, but if that's my goal for the year, then that's what needs to happen. That brings a total of $1,530 each month. Now, this is the other category that we still need to do some tracking with and keep an eye on. Medicine. I have $130 allotted each month. Doctors, $50 each month. And this one is a debt payment. We have a total of $800 that is due. For the month of January, we are going to make a payment of $270 on that. In February, this is where that extra paycheck is going to. It's an extra paycheck amount of $540. Not paycheck, an extra payment amount of $540. Now, you will see right here, I only owe $800, but technically there's $810 allotted here. So that's just a mishap on my addition. But that should pay it off so that back in March, we won't owe anything on that bill. Now, I'll be honest, this is where our rent is behind. This is what is also going to allow us between these payments and our rent payments up here will allow us to get ahead so that when we pay our April bill, it'll be on time and we will not have to pay the late fee. So that this isn't necessarily what is owed. It's also adding additional fees in and additional money to get us ahead come April. So that leaves a total of $450 in January, $720 in February, and then in March, it's only $180 because that will be paid off. Which leaves us with zero balance or zero budget in January, February, and leaves us an extra $85 in March. Now, this will go towards making sure that April is paid up ahead and on time for rent, because that'll save us up here and it'll get rid of any of this down here. These are our goals for our budget in January, February, and March, the first quarter of 2024. Now, I will be updating you on this. January is a lot of different figures than February and March. That is because we are doing the no spend challenges. You'll see more from me in this coming week of what Ken and I are specifically doing for our no spend challenges. Because for us, it's just not spending any extra cash because we don't have extra cash, as you can see. But it's cutting, it's inventorying, things like that, because that is where we can save some money. Now, there is still potential in here to save some money if things can come in lower or we don't use some of our categories. But this is where we are at for the first quarter heading into 2024. A lot's going to change this year, and that's okay. It'll all be changing for the better and for the good of the Williams family. What is your goals for this coming quarter? What are you going to do? How are you going to stretch your budget to build up that emergency fund? Like, comment, and subscribe down below. And we're in this together in 2024. See you later, everyone.